We are live.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Consciousness and Energy of the Week broadcast. Today is episode number 32. My name is Julia Birnatsky, and I am the co creator of Conscious Life Collective and the founder of Untamed Hearts. And as always, we have this amazing partnership with Michael Ocher, who's a Kabbalah teacher, who's a spiritual teacher, who comes and creates this broadcast with us together and sharing the wisdom that he lives by and embodies every day of his life. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you. Welcome. Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome to the broadcast.
Yes. And so today, like we connect to the energy of the in the universe. We go by the very sacred special scripts that we have access to through Michael, which is Zohar and writings of ancient Kabbalah of the Kabbalists, and it's connected to energy of each week. And so that's where this information is coming from. This is where this inspiration and desire to share with you comes from. It's not random. And today is all about each one of us becoming this radio station that broadcasts certain energy to the world. And the energy that the world needs right now is love, is healing, is transformation of whatever chaotic and negative is going on in the world into positive, into different frequency that creates instead of destroys. And that's basically it. It sounds very simple, right? But we are all, each one of us is responsible, and each one is an individual broadcast that changes this frequency in the world, that affects people around us, affects our own being, and affects the communities, and the communities affect the world. So each one of us becomes the station, the center, energetic center that changes the frequency, that ripples out to the whole world.
Amen.
Can we take us into deeper conversation about that,
Yeah,
Mike?
absolutely. That was beautiful. Thank you. So, welcome, everyone. I'm, as Julia mentioned, one of the teachers in the Kabbalah Center. And we do this broadcast to enlighten, to share some wisdom to make our world a better place. That's the goal. And this week's energy and this month is very special. It's a very positive month, very positive energy. And we, like Julia mentioned, it's a lot about us, meaning it's a lot about our energy. And each one of us being kind of this conduit and at the same time like an amplifier and a broadcaster of energy. And what Kabbalist teaches is that we actually, every single one of us has a choice, always, every single moment, of what kind of energy we connect to, and what is our essence, what is our vibrations and wavelengths that we're sending out to the world. And I'm going to say something very powerful that Rav Berg and Karen Berg, my teachers, used to say. It's a very simple thing that when you have darkness in the room, to make it go away, you don't need to fight it. You don't need to, tell it to go away. The simple thing is just to turn on the light, and that's it. And darkness has to leave. And it's as simple as that in our life also. That our consciousness, if we are turning onto the light, the darkness has to disappear from our life. It's that simple. It's not, it's not complicated, and it's not so difficult, and you don't need to do anything more than you already have right now. And also what the Kabbalist teaches, that humanity is one body. Humanity is one entity. We are one force. We're no longer separated. We're so interdependent on each other. The whole world, all the countries, all the people of the world, we're all connected. And it's almost like one physical body, even though there are 7 billion people in this world and more now, and everyone has their own story and everyone has their own experience, etc. However, we're one body. And what the Kabbalist teaches is that actually each and every single one of us is connected to at least a minimum of 10,000 other people in this world. So can you imagine you right now, you're not just by yourself. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're going through, decisions that you're making, it's not just for you, but it's actually also for those 10,000 people. So today's broadcast is to inspire us to be conscious of that, to understand that actually I'm not just doing everything for myself, but I'm actually providing energy, sustenance, abundance, unconditional love, appreciation for those 10,000 people. And it actually also says in the ancient writings that the more person does it, the more and more souls become under his, you can say, supervision, not direct, but they become connected to that branch. And you can look at it as a tree branch. You have a tree, and then you have many branches going out. Now, in order for the smaller branches or the leaves to get their energy, their water, their sustenance, they need to make sure to be connected to the trunk. They need to make sure that the water is flowing through them. And this is what we are. We are branches. Every single one of us is a branch that broadcasts and delivers this energy. And we want to remember we are very focused on ourselves, right? Most of the time. That's our nature. We are beings of desire. We are beings of wanting. Whatever it might be, it's usually about ourselves. Even if you go to a retreat to change, etc., it's mostly based on ourselves. And we want to switch our consciousness and add the idea that every single one of us is also a broadcaster of energy for these 10,000 people. And the world is in not an easy space. It's in a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of confusion. There is so much uncertainty about what's going to happen. The ultimate time of uncertainty is now, 2020 and still 2021. We're in so much uncertainty. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen with the virus. Nobody knows what's going to happen with the politics, etc. It's so much of uncertainty. So when you look at the 1%, it's a little bit confusing. It's dark. It's not, it might not necessarily inspire you and be like, wow, the world is in a great place. However, spiritually wise, we are in a very good place. We're in a place of transformation. We're in a place of change. People that are connected to spirituality are having a much easier time throughout this whole experience. They're not having such a difficult, confusing, and dark time. And we want to use that. We want to, first of all, understand that it's a call of action for all of us to be more spiritual, to read more books, to listen to more positive videos, to meditate, to share, to give, to practice certainty in these uncertain times. And specifically today is each and every single one of us wants to look at our life that we're not just here for ourselves. You're not just here for you, but you're also here for thousands of other people. And okay, that's great information, right? That's an interesting idea. But what do we do about it? The call to action from this idea is that we want to tune our radio and find out what kind of energy we're connecting and what kind of energy we're broadcasting. And there was an amazing study done by scientists when a very large group of monks started meditating in a day in a city, and also a group of, I think, few thousand people gathered in a space and also were doing meditations. And they noticed that the crime in that city and it fell. It's unbelievable that actually just simple meditation, just simple reconnection with yourself is actually not just for you, but it actually affects your environment directly. So they were actually able to find that and discover it and see it and note it. We want to use that information. We want to use that information to take into our daily activity, that we are not just focusing and meditating on ourselves, but we're actually doing all these connections, meditations, and like Julia said, broadcasting energy of positivity in the world. So we might think that, oh, our ego might tell us, what's the point? I don't even know these people that I'm providing the energy with. What's the point? Why should I worry about other people? But what quantum mechanics and what physics actually teaches us is that consciousness is everything. And the more I broadcast positive energy into this world, the more it's going to come back to me also. It's the boomerang effect of whatever is putting out there, that's what's going to come back to me. So it is actually, Rav Ashlag, the founder of the Kabbalah Center, says something beautiful. He says, true altruism starts with very strong egocentrism. So you don't just want to do it because it's the right thing to do, or, oh, I'm going to be the spiritual person that's going to meditate and broadcast this energy to the world. But I understand that this is actually better for me. And it happens no matter what. Every time I make my connections, every time I meditate, every time I do all these positive connections, it happens automatically in the world. But we want to be even more conscious about it, more conscious, and understand that actually my actions are not just affecting me, but they're affecting thousands and thousands, if not maybe millions of people in this world. So it's also exciting, right? It's also exciting that it's not just me who I'm taking care of. It's not just me who I'm providing light within my loved ones, but actually people in the whole world are benefiting. And we want to take responsibility. We really want to take ownership of this. And we don't want it to be just another good thing that we know, but we want to proactively dedicate time in our day when we are choosing what kind of vibrations we are tuning into and what kind of vibrations we're spreading and deflecting into the whole world. So what is your choice? And like one of our astrologers said, the time is very intense right now, especially January is going to be the most intense month of 2021. And we're coming to the inauguration of a president, and we're coming to very big events for us, for our country, for the United States. We want to make sure that we take this time and we broadcast positive energy. We blanket the whole world with the energy of a creator, with unconditional love of a creator. And, when you're listening to something like you're doing right now, it's more of a passive stance, right? You're just receiving energy right now. And it's up to you what you do with it. And the call to action this week is really to take, and from this week on, for the rest of our lives, is to take this responsibility to understand that I'm not just here for myself, that whenever I make the right choices, even in my consciousness, even in my vibrational energy, you are not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for thousands and thousands of other people, for your soul family. Because we have this soul family. Imagine you imagine us as one body, right? One physical body, like the cells in your body. The cells in your body, when one cell is tuned in, is functioning properly, it actually influences other cells in your body, right? And just like, the cells of the right hand function together with the left hand, they all work together. This is what we are as humanity. And the beautiful thing is that the more cells in this spiritual human body decide to spread love, appreciation, healing to the whole world, it starts to affect your surrounding spiritual body, physically and spiritually also. And like my teacher Rav used to always say that, the fact that you might be making the right decision and choosing light instead of darkness, you might be affecting somebody on the other side of the world making the right decision for themselves. So it's not just oh, it's the right thing to do, it's nice, etc. It's such a responsibility, such a huge also merit and realization that when how can you change the world, right? How can you influence the world? You might think that you're so small, you're just 1 out of 7 billion people. However, you're much, much more than that, much more than that. And also the follow-up is kind of the energy you're choosing, right? Like Julia said, like what kind of energy you're broadcasting. So it's two functions. We work in two ways. First of all, we're like a radio station that catches a certain frequency. And by the way, we choose what frequency we tune into and what frequency we are receiving. And at the same time, as I am connecting to that, I'm choosing to broadcast it to the entire world. So, we wanna ingrain this in our consciousness, that it's not just for me that I am doing all these positive actions, these meditations, etc., study and growth, but I'm actually doing it for thousands and millions of people in the world. And the more I do it, the more and more effect it's going to have on the world, and the more protection and the more protection from chaos, from pain, suffering we're going to have in this whole world.
Yes. And I wanted to say something very real. We always want to keep this broadcast real, like what is happening in our lives. So it's not just general, like a lecture, right? This is something that you guys and I'm personally, every time after the broadcast, because we don't know what's going to happen, because people who are joining us are helping us to know what we need to speak about. So this is not rehearsed. And what I'm getting right now that is very important, there is a lot of split happening inside of our own families, inside of our own spiritual communities. People have, because of politics, because of who thinks should win, who thinks should be the president, because of everything that is happening in the world, there's a lot of split, disagreement, hurt, and pain happening inside of our closest circles, inside of our families, inside of the friendship that might have been, we thought would be forever. People are breaking friendships because they don't know how to deal with everything that is happening. And how do you infuse positivity in a situation where, like, you think this person needs to be a president and somebody close to you thinks somebody else, and such violent actions are happening and people disagree? So how do we create unity? How do we create this oneness that we talk about? Like this broadcast, like this conversation is not theoretical. This is what we need to do. We need to create oneness with our own skin, with someone who's our own blood and disagrees, and we have disagreement, but it doesn't mean that. I don't even think it's a disagreement. I think it's just like such a play of politics and politicians and powers and people who are, but not going into it. I'm sorry, I'm not going into it. But how do we take all of that and apply it to something that is so close to our skin, so close to our heart, who is our blood? How do we broadcast the unity and healing when we disagree? And yet we need to do it.
Yeah. Amazing. That's such a great point and direction. And what we want to understand is, first of all, the responsibility that we have, right? The responsibility we have for not falling into these 1% chaos. And in 1%, yes, it's very important, and we want to express our opinion, etc. However, in big picture, like Julia said, it's much more important to choose unity. It's much more important to choose acceptance, tolerance, less criticism, less judgment. You're going to be much better like using the tool of 10-10-10, which is, deciding what a certain decision will give you in 10 minutes, in 10 days, and in 10 months. Or I'm sorry, 10 hours, 10 months, and 10 years. What are you deciding? Unity is always the right decision. Oneness is always the right decision. Just because you're going to try to prove yourself right that this is what's going to happen and this who should be the president and, et cetera, and becoming political, it's only going to create more separation in your life. And why do you want that? Is it worth it? Is it worth somebody in the other side of the world that you don't really know? Is the reason why you're going to have so much disagreement and separation? It's up to you. Every one of us has that choice. If you do choose separation, then don't be surprised that your life is not going to be as great. Your life is not going to be as rewarding, as pleasant. If you choose unity, acceptance, oneness, unity, etc., then that's what's gonna happen in the world, and that's what's gonna come back to you also. So it's as simple as turning on the light. As simple as turning on the light in my consciousness. Does it really make sense for me to argue and really like break relationships and humiliate someone or humiliate myself, etc., just because to prove your point? That's simply ego. That's all it is. That's your ego. That's your low vibrational energy. That's not something that's going to ever reward you. It's going to make you feel good in the moment. You're going to feel amazing and great in the moment. However, in the long term, it's not going to create something that you like. So choosing to forgive, to let someone be right, to let someone be have their opinion and have the right to keep. That's what this country is based on, right? That's the beauty of this country, that we have a freedom of speech and we can all express our opinions and we can keep our opinions, and we don't have to humiliate or dishonor or disrespect other people around us. But this is more in 1%, and also in the 99%, in the spiritual realm. When I choose in my consciousness that I want to be connected to unity, to appreciation, to positivity, to love, to acceptance, to tolerance, to kind of break this cycle that humanity is constantly going after, right? And break the cycle that you're in. You're probably, every single one of us knows the cycle that you're in. When you fight, when you argue, when you try to prove your point, when you try to prove that you're right, you're this, you're that, it doesn't bring us to the light. In big picture, what we all want to come to is to the light, is to positivity, is to blessings, is to unity, is to oneness. That's what every single human being on this planet wants. Doesn't matter what they say, doesn't matter what you think. Even if you don't think that you want that, that's actually something that is your deep satisfaction for your soul, not just on a superficial level. So again, most of us that are watching this broadcast probably are more conscious beings, right? We're not as reactive, you can say, and as low as people that are just blaming totally in the 1% illusionary world. We are much more connected. We're much more aware. We're much more, wiser, right? Like wiser and more compassionate. So we want to choose this. I want to proactively choose that. That's my decision from now on. I'm choosing unity. I'm choosing oneness. I know that the actual solution of whoever is going to be better is going to come because I choose unity and oneness. That's actually how you're going to make the world a better place. Not by arguing. You can't fight fire with fire, right? And you can't fight darkness with darkness. You can only remove darkness by turning on the light. And remember, what does it mean, light? Light means acceptance. Light means forgiveness. Light means love. Light means unity. All these positive attributes is the energy of light. And the more I bring it in, the more I turn it on in my conscious, the more it's going to come into this world, and it's going to come into my life also.
Yes. And this is, like, I just want to add something that Michael, you're saying that we are, might be on, people who are listening to this broadcast might have different level of consciousness. Maybe so, but each one of us have moments where our consciousness may not be so high, and each one of us have moments of being reactive or feeling even very deeply subconscious, even that moment before we can switch, when we're feeling like something negative is happening to us, which is consciousness of victim. And it could be so fast, but it's still happening. Like it does, each one of us is affected. It doesn't matter, like in my opinion, yes, we've been studying spirituality. Yes, there is a reason why you're listening to this broadcast. Yes, it's called to you for a reason. But each one of us has a moment of darkness. And this is the most powerful moment during the darkness, to still choose to send love to the person you disagree with.
Yeah.
And I think this is like the consciousness of togetherness, when like it could be within your family, like you disagree with your parents or with your partner or with your children, you have different points of view. It's choosing not to be right, but choosing oneness and togetherness. It doesn't mean that you need to change your opinion. You don't have to change your opinion. It is not about being right or wrong. It is such a different level of looking at what is happening. It's a much bigger view at life to begin with. That your opinion is not so important right now, or their opinion is not so important, comparing to how important the unity and togetherness today is. Maybe everything that is happening in the world is a huge test to the humanity. Can you stay together in face of this? Can you test? This is a test. This is nothing less than a big test. Can you stay together when the real test comes?
Exactly. Exactly. So beautifully said, Juliana. Exactly. Exactly. What are you, what's more important to you? Just to be right? Just to be labeled right now and to fight and argue and prove somebody wrong? Or are you really choosing to let go and say, you know what, that's your opinion. I love you anyway. I accept you. That's true. That's what the humanity needs to go towards. You know, it's not just to prove who's the smartest one and who's the right one and who knows what's better and etc. This is all so small, so low, so such little, low vibrations.
It's meaningless. It's not, it
It,
will be forgotten in no time.
It's so meaningless. It's so meaningless. Doesn't mean that your opinion is meaningless. It doesn't mean that your opinion is wrong. Your opinion is right. Keep it. Find more about it, but don't go into battles and don't. It's when you were talking. Actually, I remembered also another quote that from darkness you can actually reveal the most light. So the moments when you do feel the most aggravated, the most upset, the most kind of like, what is this person talking about? That's the moment when you can reveal the most light. That's meaning you can switch your consciousness and think of what you want ultimately. Do I just want quick satisfaction right now, just to choose, uh, prove myself right now, or do I want something bigger in my life? Do I want something bigger in this world? What do you choose? Choose very simple. Quick instant gratification, like fast food, for example. Quick instant gratification. However, it doesn't bring you so much nutrition. Proving yourself right and you're the smartest, causing more chaos, more darkness in the world. And it's a lot of letting go because a lot of us are addicted to darkness. A lot of us are addicted to this low vibrations and these oh, I just to be right, just to prove my point, just to show how stupid other people are. That's, you're the one that's going to lose eventually when you choose that. So decide, what do you want? Do you want something long term? Do you want to grow from this experience and come out on top? Or do you want to be just glorious right now? I was during the weekend, we were having one of the connections and meditations that Kabbalists do on the seventh day of the week, on Shabbat. And we were talking about the beauty really of this teaching and what it gave us, and it giving us so much protection consciousness wise, right, from these doubts, from these uncertainty. And it says in the Zohar actually that times of that we're living in, there's going to be a lot of tribulation, a lot of confusion, a lot of clashing. And people that are connected to the idea of love, unity, oneness, acceptance, tolerance, they're going to be protected from that. They're going to be completely surrounded by a protective bubble that's going to protect them from all this negative energy. And we were all blown away how we just had another aha moment and, like appreciation for it. Like, wow, this is so true. This is exactly what we're experiencing. So choose light, choose positivity, choose unity, choose to let go, choose to forgive, and choose to accept and be tolerant of other people. And again, if you practice meditation, if you practice, self-awareness on a daily basis, remind yourself that I am a broadcaster of energy. Just by me turning on this, switching these vibes and and sending these protective positive vibes in the world, that's going to create the change that we need right now, and not just being right.
Yes. And so imagine yourself that you are the healer, because you are. Each one of us is a healer. Imagine yourself, you are the healer, and you have responsibility to help these people. And all you have to do is to change frequency.
Yeah.
So it's not about you. It's not about your opinion. It's not about your nature. It's not about your personal experiences. You know, when something really like unexpected happens, when there's a war and somebody is helping somebody to survive, somebody was shot, and you do everything you can to help that person to survive. Like, this is the situation in the world. You need to be that healer who helps person next to you survive, even if you have different opinions. You need to pull that person out and give them life again. And I just wanted to say, like, my boyfriend yesterday pulled a card, and there was something that was so beautiful. It's the same thing as we were saying, but said in a different way. The darkness wins by killing the flame. So let's not let anything kill our own flame.
Yeah, totally.
There's
Beautiful.
a lot of messages, Michael, and so people are writing to us, and Jana is saying that 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 it really helps her when she reminds herself that the Creator is in everything.
True.
And there are people who are saying, I don't see the name of that person, that's sending love to the one you disagree with is not easy. And thank you for reminding to choose oneness, and also choosing compassion, guys.
Yeah.
Saying to myself, compassion to yourself and other people. And there are lots of comments, so we're going to go through all of them. And thank you so much for this beautiful contribution. Whatever is happening here right now, it's everybody's energy, it's collective energy. And whatever we are saying needs to come out collectively. It's you guys that are helping us to bring this out and forth and share it with everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Do we have a little time for our
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do a meditation. That's what we just talked about. So let's awaken our consciousness, our quantum ability to influence the world, and let's dedicate this meditation to provide healing, light, oneness, unity in the times when it's difficult for us and for other people. Let's tilt the world's consciousness towards more light. Let's choose from now on to be more in a vibration of love, acceptance, and healing than ever before. That's what we need to be doing. So the meditation is very simple. You want to close your eyes, be as relaxed as you can be very present in your body. Try to even feel the clothing on your body. Then you want to feel the oneness that you have with whatever you're sitting on, with the room you're in, with the house you're in, with the city you're in, and with the whole planet. That actually you and the planet are one and the same. You and humanity, you and all the plants, minerals, animals, you're one force. And you want to realize that you're one with this entire universe. And expand your consciousness beyond the universe into lights, layers and planes of lights. And expand into a very bright layer of light. And then a golden layer. And then a jello-like substance. And then go into the creator of all that is, a beautiful pearl-like energy, just pure energy. Tingling, beautiful light. And feel the oneness. Feel that you are always one with the creator. And the sense of security and peace is activated only through ourselves, not from other people. And want to feel and merge and become one with this energy. And here we want to use this moment to heighten our sense of desire, sense of responsibility, sense of causing the world to be a better place simply by choosing light, simply by choosing compassion, tolerance, acceptance, forgiveness, love. And to, if you want to know the value, the impact that every one of us have, that you as an individual have on this world, on this planet, say yes. And you want to make a commitment that right from this moment, I choose to be a broadcaster of love, a broadcaster of unity, a broadcaster of healing, of acceptance, of tolerance. Whether it be small, minute argument you have with someone or a big disagreement with a big group, whatever it might be, choosing the light, choosing compassion, choosing acceptance is always the bigger person. So if you want this ability to always choose light, always choose compassion, always choose healing, love, appreciation, and unity, even in the most difficult times, say yes. And then you want to see yourself, visualize yourself, your body, as a broadcaster of energy, broadcaster of vibrations. You're emitting this energy of unconditional love wherever you go, whoever looks at you, whoever comes in contact with you, whoever even thinks of you or hears you, is going to be connecting to unconditional love of the Creator, the true essence of the Creator. If you want that, say yes. And bring the consciousness. Whenever you try to lose the ability to remember this, always bring it back internally. Bring it back to yourself. Bring it back to your soul. And say that I choose love. I choose acceptance no matter what. No matter what the opinion, how different the opinion of the other person might be, I choose love. I choose acceptance. Choose compassion. And then we want to visualize our whole world, the whole planet, every single human on this planet being blanketed by this beautiful energy of unconditional love, of healing, unity, oneness. We want to use ourselves as broadcasters of this energy. See and visualize yourself becoming a beacon of light for the whole world. Just by simply choosing the right thoughts. I am broadcasting this energy just by simply choosing the right thoughts in my soul, in my consciousness, in my mind. and how to stay in your space, no matter how loud, how cynical, how sarcastic another person might become, not to allow that energy to infiltrate yours, to stay strong in your space, to stay aware. And express this love towards everyone, even the people that irritate you. Send them love. Think of unconditional love towards them. We'll send it to our capital to create more protection there. More and more unity, more and more acceptance. Tipping the scale of this world of humanity towards the light. And even now, choose one person, whoever comes to your mind right now, that you want to send extra care to, extra love, extra support. Whoever came to your mind right now, think of them. Visualize as they're being surrounded by positive light, by acceptance, by enlightenment, by healing, by protection. And tell them, I love you, I accept you, I honor you. And tell yourself also, you accept yourself, you love yourself. Becoming the godlike being that you are meant to be. And also to connect to the ancient writings, to read some ancient writings right now, to really connect to this energy. פרשאים דה יוקמנה רזה דילכון בכמה דוקטי, אבל פרשת קדמאה קודש לי כל בקור, דה איחו רזה אילה דקליל כל דלת בתין ברזה דנחירו אילה דנפקה מאין. And when you're ready, just rinse yourself in this light energy again. Fill yourself up with it again. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes.
Thank you, Michael. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
And
That's good.
yes, I want to bring this forth once again, what Michael just said. Say it to the people you may not agree with. I may not agree with you, but I love you, I accept you, and I respect you. And that's a path to oneness.
Yeah, that's the victory and happiness that we can achieve in this world, not by the right people in proper positions.
And even if you cannot say it to them in person, or you don't have enough in you to say it to them in person, it could be also that. Just say it in your mind.
Yeah.
I may not agree with you, but I love you, I accept you, and I respect you.
Yeah.
Let's choose oneness.
Amen.
Let's say choose togetherness. And that way we choose life. This is a choice of life. Thank you so much, Michael. Is there anything you want to add before we close it today?
I think to listen to this broadcast again.
Yeah, I'm going to for sure.
I've never heard it. I feel like this is a very important message, and we really want to kind of digest it, not just to have it as an idea, but really become it part of our being, that this is who I choose to be. And this is how I can help and influence the world, and not by having a right opinion.
This is not a lecture. This
Yeah.
is life.
Yes.
This is life. It's being channeled. And each one of you who is joining us is a broadcast of energy that brings this conversation forth. I just want you to know that each one of you is part of what is happening right now, what we are saying, we're reflecting, and you are the broadcaster already. Huge responsibility. With take it with light sense of humor and light heart and love. We please share it with anybody you might think will enjoy it or benefit from this episode. It's number 32, Michael, by the way. I think I said it in the beginning. It's
Yeah.
32. It's wonderful. And we are going to be back next Sunday at 12. Please do join us. It makes a huge difference when you are with us. And we love you. Have a beautiful week.
Amen. Thank you, everyone. Have an amazing, amazing week. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you, Michael. Bye bye. Thank you, everybody.